In November of 2017, DC revealed to the public that longtime Marvel writer Brian Michael Bendis was joining their ranks. Almost 3 months later, it was announced that Bendis would not only release his own imprint at DC, he would be taking the reins of 2 titles of one of DC's most popular superheroes. Well, most popular that isn't Batman. Superman, and his 2 titles Superman and Action Comics. And to set up his run on each title, Bendis helmed a 6-issue Man of Steel miniseries that introduced a new antagonist, Rogal Zar, a powerful enforcer who revealed that he was responsible for Krypton's destruction. Well, get in line, buddy. The miniseries saw the reappearance of Jor-El, who last appeared in Dan Jurgens' Oz Effect story, a story which Bendis ignores. Jor-El takes his grandson John and daughter-in-law Lois with him to explore the galaxy and teach John about his Kryptonian heritage. Man of Steel saw Rogal Zar imprisoned in the Phantom Zone and Superman losing his only means of communication with John and Lois. The stage was set for Bendis' run on Superman and Action Comics. Before all of this, the lead-up for all 3 Superman titles were plastered with the tagline, "Bendis is coming." But Bendis has come. How were his first story arcs on both iconic titles? Was it worth the hype? I personally read Man of Steel, and to be honest, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't entirely good either. It was slightly better than the majority of Bendis' most recent works at Marvel at the time. Civil War II was a blatant cash grab on Captain America's Civil War. The story itself was terrible, and it was an unnecessary hero versus hero story, which completely destroyed what little left there was of Captain Marvel's character. Guardians of the Galaxy was turned into just a copy-paste of the MCU's Guardians of the Galaxy, meaning they were no longer guarding the galaxy, they were just a group of outlaws. And don't forget that Bendis gave everyone the best character in existence, Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, a genius who wanted to be like Tony Stark because she wasn't discriminated enough because of her race and gender. So her teacher said, "You can't be Tony Stark." And she went on to prove everyone wrong. Fantastic. The story of Man of Steel is mixed in my opinion for primarily these 3 reasons. 1, the retconning of Krypton's destruction again. A unresolved story that would have to be continued in 2 different titles. A common trope with Bendis, he can't finish a story, the story has to continue across multiple story arcs. And the blatant disregard of the Oz Effect storyline. Well, correction, it didn't disregard the entirety of Oz Effect. It still acknowledged that Jor-El is alive. What it does ignore is the fact that at the end of said storyline, Jor-El was taken away by who we assume to be Dr. Manhattan. So when Superman sees Jor-El again in Man of Steel, he acts as if this is some kind of regular occurrence that his birth father would just appear for visits. But moving on, Man of Steel kickstarted 3 storylines, and Unity Saga, Phantom Earth, the first story arc of Superman, would follow up on 2 of them. Lois and John missing, and Rogal Zar. We are introduced to a Superman who is feeling the impact of not being with his family, searching for them when his duties on Earth don't demand his attention. However, suddenly Superman discovers that the planet Earth has been transported to one of the worst places in the universe, a reveal that is explained in one of the best examples of Bendis speak. Don't know what Bendis speak is? It primarily shows itself in 2 ways. 1, being unnecessarily drawn out dialogue, most of which would cover almost or over half a comic book page. The other being repeating the same sentence with slight variations. So I present the peak of dialogue, the best dialogue in any written form in existence. The Phantom Zone. The entire Earth is in the Phantom Zone. The Phantom Zone, where all of Krypton's most horrible monsters and criminals were banished. The Earth is inside the Phantom Zone. Don't know if you caught on, but I think the Earth is in the Phantom Zone. As Superman rushes to deal with this situation, we are reintroduced to Rogol Zar, and we are given a flashback about him, and probably the only time that Bendis utilizes good writing. The Tamaranian king, Meander, readies his forces against the Thanagarians, and when he sees that Rogol Zar is on the latter's side, he immediately calls for a retreat. This is honestly written well, using minimal to no dialogue at all to portray how big of a threat Rogol Zar was constructed really well by Bendis. But that's where my praise ends, because this flashback only exists to show how mighty and feared Rogol Zar is. The problem is, it doesn't particularly, to an extent, have much to do with this story. And Man of Steel already showed us the threat that Rogol Zar is. You know, having destroyed Kandor, holding his own against Superman and Supergirl, wanting almost succeeding in destroying the planet Earth, and destroying Krypton. So Rogol Zar beats up and then unites the prisoners of the Phantom Zone to head to Earth to continue his plans. Superman discovers how the planet became trapped inside the Phantom Zone in one of the most lackluster and anticlimactic reveals. An accident. A Star Labs experiment accidentally transported Earth to the Phantom Zone. I'm surprised Bendis didn't try to use the whole "it was all a dream." With the majority of other heroes incapacitated due to the Phantom Zone's atmosphere affecting them negatively, Superman is left alone to fight off against Rogol Zar and his forces, while he has any remaining heroes such as the Atom devise a way to free Earth from the Phantom Zone, which they do by shrinking the planet, therefore taking it out of the Phantom Zone and transporting it back to its former location. Elsewhere, Zod awakens from a vision where he sees himself uniting alongside Superman's family in Kandor on New Krypton. I'll be honest, I'm not all too familiar with Zod, but from what I've seen, this seems off. I don't see Zod as someone who would unite under peace and try to atone for what he has done and move on for a better future. Most depictions show him as like a militant leader, rule with an iron fist, crush anyone that opposes him. He's always known for his hatred of Superman and the House of El. So, I don't believe this, seems off. But anyway, he learns that Earth is missing and he heads straight to its former location, meeting Adam Strange and finding a miniature Earth that has escaped from the Phantom Zone, and it soon expands. Once that is done, Zod has the Atom send him to the Phantom Zone where he confronts Rogol Zar. Now, how Zod got here is contrived. He has a vision which ends with Rogol Zar attacking New Krypton. His son tells him that Earth is missing, and he heads straight there. After finding it, he has himself sent to the Phantom Zone. And let me remind you, none of this is explained. Ursa explains that Zod has had this vision of New Krypton before. So why hasn't he acted on it already? Well, coincidentally, it's not until Earth is mentioned by his son that he decides to act. But how does Zod know Earth will lead him to Rogol Zar or will have anything to do with his vision? Well, he doesn't. The story says he does. This is a typical Bendis trope. He'll throw out continuity, characterizations, and logic out the window because the story comes first in his mind. Zod doesn't know what is going on, and is not even told what is going on, apart from that Earth is missing. Literally after the Earth returns to normal, he heads to Star Labs, sees the Atom holding the Phantom Zone projector, and tells him to use it on himself. Why? Because the plot demands it, so that he can go fight Rogol Zar. There is no logical explanation or series of events that lead up to this. Superman is returned to Earth, all seems normal once again until he is reunited with his son John, who has grown up since last he saw him. Unity Saga Phantom Earth is not only a good example of how you should not start a Superman run, but also how you should not start a comic in general. A incredibly below average story that ignores logic and structure in order to advance its plot, mischaracterizing various characters and having some of them appear just for the sake of the story. Why is Livewire here? Is it because she's a recurring Superman villain? No, it's so that the accident side can be revealed to the readers. Why is Zod here? Did he discover that Rogol-Zar destroyed planet Krypton, and having been told what happened to Earth and that it's in the Phantom Zone, he headed straight there so he can exact his revenge? No, he's not told any of that. The story demanded that he was there. A anticlimactic plot reveal and a half-completed conclusion. We don't actually see what happens with Rogol-Zar and Zod at the end of this story. The reveal of it being an accident that caused Earth to be trapped in the Phantom Zone. Incredibly lackluster, very anticlimactic, plain. I would have just accepted some really crazy plan, and just considering that one of the prisoners of the Phantom Zone is Jax-Ur, have something like Jax-Ur created a device that was able to transport a single planet to the Phantom Zone. He decides, I'm going to get my revenge on Superman and all that, so he transports Earth. But no, it's just, it was an accident, sorry, oopsie. The only highlight of this story is the art and coloring. Ivan Reyes' art combined with Alex Sinclair's coloring is a perfect match. Their work together in Unity Saga Phantom Earth is absolutely stellar and produces amazing artwork. There are so many great scenes, especially with a lot of the fight and action scenes where it just looks so amazing. So the art in it was just absolutely gorgeous. Except for this panel of John Kent. I guess not everything can be perfect. So that was Bendis' first story arc for Superman. But what about the other title? You know, the one that debuted Superman so long ago? Action Comics?